And welcome everybody to another edition of the Craft Brews and Fantasy Football. Well, fantasy news. I always get this wrong. Jesus, Ryan, you should know everything by now. I am your host, Brewboy813, joined by some great friends. We're gonna give you our last mock draft of 2020 before the actually NFL draft kicks into high gear this Thursday, right, boys? I think it's this Thursday night. So,
yes, sir.
I am, again, Brewboy813, and I'm joined with my good friend here, Corey. Corey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. And, of course, Ben, with his knowledge and skills and expertise, coming back to the show.
What's going on, Ryan? What's up, guys?
And we have a newcomer this week. Last week we had Cade on the show. He was covering the Miami Dolphins. He, unfortunately, was not able to make it today because he's working. But we have our good friend Matt out of Wisconsin.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for having me.
You said, cool. Matt, you said your brother works at New Glarus Brewing Company, correct?
Yes, sir. Been working there and actually brews beer. Been doing that for a few years now. So you guys get your spotted cow fixes coming my way. With that being said, I'm actually drinking New Glarus beer right now.
What do you got? Yeah, well, that brings us to our first segment of this. What are you drinking and what do you want to drink? What do you got in your hand there? I can't see it.
It's a Mud Puppy Porter from Central Waters Brewery in Amherst, Wisconsin.
Huh.
That sounds delicious.
That does sound good.
I'm a big porter fan.
Easily my favorite. Yeah. Definitely would recommend that. I don't think New Glarus either, where I think you can get it out of state too. So maybe you guys will have some luck with it. But
do they still make the road slush at the brewing company?
Yep.
I love the road slush.
Not in a while either.
Didn't New Glarus do a jalapeno porter a while back?
They do so many R&D beers, so they very well may have at some point, but I don't remember that one.
So Corey, my friend Chase used to brew there, and he had a home brewery, and he did a jalapeno porter. That might be what you're thinking of.
Okay.
He actually works.
Sounds good.
I don't know, Matt. I don't know if you know Chase Legler at all, but he
Cincinnati.
He went to Cincinnati, and they opened a new brewery. It's Sonder Brewery in Cincinnati. He's part owner of that now.
Well, it sounds like we need to take a field trip one day.
Yeah, post COVID-19, we'll be able to move around.
In Cincinnati.
If we're gonna go somewhere, let's pick somewhere better than Cincinnati.
Fair enough.
You don't want to meet Joe Burrow?
Nah.
Hey Ben, what are you sipping on over there? Did you bring back your usual white wine, or got something new in the mix?
I made a bloody today. Things got a little weird last night, so I needed the liquor to take care of the edge, the edge off.
Do we want to ask about the weirdness, or should we save that for another portion of the show?
Well, we were just hammered drunk.
Okay.
All right, so I'm a big Bloody Mary fan. You got to share me. You're going to share how you make your Bloody Marys these days. So, yeah, what kind of vodka? What are you using?
I don't use vodka. I use gin. I don't like vodka, so I got New Amsterdam gin.
Okay.
I have Crystal Louisiana hot sauce, Worcestershire sauce, pickle juice. That's when I put my pickle in. Do some celery salt on the bottom.
Yep.
And then I have Yin Yang. Got the cans, so it's perfect for one Bloody Mary. And then I top it with some more celery salt.
That sounds like a
salt on top.
Very good crafted cocktail, my friend. Never had a Bloody Mary with gin, though. That might be interesting.
Actually, they're really good with gin and tequila. I don't like vodka, so it just made sense for me. You don't even, I don't know.
Taste the difference?
You really don't taste the difference. Honestly, I don't like vodka, so I taste the vodka. I can put 2 shots of gin in it. I don't taste it. I mean, that might be a problem, but might be a personal problem. But
not today. You're in a safe place. Corey, are you drinking on anything today?
I think you have an idea what I'm drinking on. Ghost in the Machine, delicious hazy New England IPA, in a Tailgate Brewery glass I got from Nashville last year, which is a great brewery there. Probably my favorite beer at the moment. So thank you, Ryan, for sharing that with me.
Absolutely.
I just about cleaned ABC liquor out of all of them the other day when I went to go pick up some 4-packs. So
that's when you know you have a good beer on your hands, when you want to buy all the bottles and you don't even really care about the price. So is it like 15, 16 bucks a 4-pack or something like that?
yeah, I spent like $120 just on beer.
Well, I owe you some of that back because you bought me that that barrel-aged narwhal. So
It's sitting right here looking at me. Yep.
you can crack one of those bad boys open if you'd like. I just didn't get a chance to make it out there today to get them, but anyway, we'll save that for another time. I am drinking on the Voodoo Ranger American Haze, so I picked that up today, just for the show. I'll crack that open here in a second, but we've spent enough time talking about beer, so let's go ahead. What do you say, boys? Let's dive into this mock draft. I think the first pick that we actually get to decide isn't until like 30, 31, something like that for the Packers. So
Yeah. So
let's
Matt, we do have the ability to trade up, trade back, do whatever. So, what speed? We're on a slower speed.
We're on the slow speed, so you should be able to see the screen there as far as the pick numbers go, and I will scroll down as the drafts come in, so you can see who's left on the log.
Sounds good. Matt, I don't think we trade up.
Unless someone I really like falls.
Yeah. I mean, I think we could agree.
It.
Yeah, I think if you really love someone like Jefferson, you could do it, but I really don't think we're going to do it. I think there's too many good options. Like Matt said, I think we trade back if anything. So I think we stay put.
All right. Well, you let me know if anything changes in the next 2 minutes because I'm starting it now.
Let it roll, but I did see a mock where Lamb had dropped to Philly's pick, and that would be a little interesting to me. Or not Lamb. Lamb.
Lamb fell. Yeah, that would be tempting.
I don't foresee that happening, but you would have to probably jump Philly at that point.
Sure. If you're the Philadelphia Eagles at 21 and Lamb falls in your lap, you're not giving that up.
No, you're not. No, that's what I'm saying. You probably have. You probably have to trade the team ahead.
We would have to give way too much for that in that scenario.
Now that Minnesota traded Diggs too, they got a pretty glaring hole at receiver. So
yeah,
you got to get to 20 if you want one of your guys.
Yep.
Yeah, 20 is the number because then the Saints too, if they don't take an inside line, honestly, what the Saints do could really affect what the Packers do because they're kind of the last team there. Or I guess Vikings are at 25, but if they take Ayuk or Jefferson or whatever.
Look at that. Judy made it all the way. You see this mock? It's a little different, man.
There's a receiver run right there.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's been a defensive heavy
man, I like Jalen Johnson. I really hope he doesn't go to the Vikings. Then I have to hate him.
Yep.
Packers are on the board.
You know, I got to tell you, being a Pittsburgh fan, I hate seeing Baltimore taking Queen right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, man.
At this point, there's not a receiver worth the first round.
You got Reagor at 42 right here.
Yeah. I think the only player you would take here would be Kenneth Murray.
Yep, I agree. I make the argument as a too, but I think I'd trade back here.
Yeah, I think we'd still trade back because I don't know about you, Matt, but I think there's some really good inside linebackers in 2 and 3. So you miss out on Murray, but maybe you get Davis Gaither or Wilson or somebody, Willie Gay. But I agree. I think trade back, get some more picks.
If I were to trade back here, I wish you could on the Draft Network. I wish you could trade either future picks or for actual players because I think it would make sense for the Packers to trade. I think it's 37 that the Chargers pick is, and I would try and get King out of that deal for LA.
Yeah, and I've actually heard it's on the table. So if you move back to 37, you get their pick. Or I'm sorry, we move back, they go up to 30, but then we get an additional 4th from.
Right.
Because we're right.
Yeah, I mean, in this we wouldn't be able to acquire a player, but if they could get fourth rounder, or if they could get King out of it, that would be the move I would make.
So what would you guys like to do?
So with that not being on the board, I'm just as an outsider, I'm seeing Jordan Love there, and I'm seeing the Indianapolis Colts sitting at 34.
I would be livid if they took a quarterback. That's the one.
No. I'm saying trade back with the Colts.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, how far do you think you want to trade back, Matt? I think
37.
Yeah, let's do 34 since Love's on there. Let's see.
You want to go to the Colts?
Let's see. Yeah, let's give that a shot. You're moving back 5, so I don't know how much you're going to get, but if they want Love, maybe we'll get lucky. Just the first rounder from us.
So first round pick and last round?
No, I would just do the first round pick and see if they'll give us what, Matt, 2 and 3, and just see. I mean, I think realistically they'll probably accept a 2 and a 4, not a 2 and a 3. But I'd say let's try it.
Fences, why not?
So
Yeah.
You want? Does this look right? The first round for the second and third?
Yeah.
It looks like a beautiful day there in Alabama, Ben.
It's not very nice.
They've been denied.
Try the 4.
Yeah. Try the 4th. I mean, we could throw in more, but I'd rather just, if they take this, I think that's a good trade back.
Nope.
So, Ryan, why don't you try to give them our 242 right there? Keep the 2 and the 4, but see if that does anything for them.
Looks like the Colts are stuck.
Well, you need to get more than a 5.
Yeah.
Are we
willing
willing
to part with a 6?
What do you think, Matt?
I'd part with 209.
Yeah.
Move up. What is that? 90 some spots. Yeah.
Yeah. They got to take that.
They accepted. Right. You're in.
We're wheeling and dealing.
I like it.
They won't take Love here, even though they would clearly do that in real life. But
yeah, go to the log. Let's see who they took.
It was Love.
Was it?
Oh, it was Love?
Yeah. It just makes sense.
Jordan Love.
Yeah.
So these things are pretty cool, man. You know?
Ooh, Murray being gone there, that hurts.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. I mean, shit. Yeah. That would have been awesome.
Probably gone by like
what about
this anyway?
Yeah, I think
Winfield
Kenneth Murray's good, man. Let's go to as much as I love Winfield, and I love Winfield, I mean, we have Raven Green and Ibrahim Campbell. There's so many holes in so many other places, and Raven Green's actually a pretty good player. I'm looking at. I'll go first, and I'll let you take it, Matt. I think you look at Bond. I think Bond would be a good pick there. I think Austin Jackson actually is the best tackle fit for the Packers. Just his athleticism for the outside zone. I've heard he's like a perfect pairing for the outside zone. And then you still got Rager there. So what do you think, Matt?
I would out of the receivers on the board, I honestly probably like Ayuk more than anyone that's there. I would consider taking. And then I haven't seen him mock to the Packers a lot. I don't even know necessarily if he'd be a great fit or not, but I really like Epineza from Iowa. And I think that could be a sneaky need for us because Dean Lowry is getting way overpaid. And we could cut him. There's no guaranteed money in his contract after next year. So we could use that money to hopefully sign, Jones, Lindsley, whoever they want to use that money for. So I could see us doing him too. But yeah,
and honestly, having Epineza fall this far, I haven't seen him available in any of the mocks I've done, and I think you're right. I mean, I think he would be an awesome. We basically are missing a DN because we have Montravius Adams, who I don't think we love, and Dean Lowry is okay.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I think I might take him there. Honestly, I think that's just really good value.
Yeah.
To me, he's a top 15 talent that's only there because of a weak combine, but I don't buy into the combine as much as other people do. If you put on his tape, the guy's an animal, and he looks like a Packer or a Steeler or somebody that plays for a team like that. That's he gives you his all every play.
Yeah, and if you get him next to Kenny Clark, and you have a Smith brother or a Sean Gary next to him, that could be scary.
Yeah. I mean, that just makes our already really good pass rush even better.
Yeah.
And with his
so who are you taking?
Sorry.
I put myself in Epineza there, so.
Yeah, I think Epineza.
Who?
AJ
AJ
Epinesa,
Epinesa.
Oh,
number
okay, there it is.
37.
All right.
Yep.
He is now officially a Packer.
Yeah,
That's
that's just
pick.
yeah, you can't pass that up.
Although I do agree that I would like that Austin Jackson pick too. I thought I read somewhere, I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure his grandpa was a Packer at one point in time. So that'd be kind of a story too.
Now here, real quick,
Yeah,
Corey, I went ahead and paused. We got the 49th pick coming up, so
All right.
just wanted to
scroll down.
see what you were thinking.
Scroll down.
If
Well, I've done a lot of research this week on who they've met with, which they can't really meet right now. It's mostly like virtual meetings. But who they met with at the Senior Bowl, who they met with at the Combine, because the Steelers like to take players that they already have interest in and have met with and check those boxes. They haven't met or shown interest in Swift or Taylor at all. They have interest in Cleveland, Ezra Cleveland there at tackle. I would find it hard to believe if they didn't like Winfield. And then the other player I'd have to mention, one or two players, would be Jalen Reagor. They did meet with him at the Combine. And then also I do like Ross Blacklock as well, TCU. But he's a little in-betweener there. I don't know if he's an end or if he is a true nose tackle. What do you think, Ben? And our base is 3-4, but we do mess with some other schemes.
He could not play nose right now.
That's what I was thinking as well.
He's talented, but he excels. He has really good speed. So honestly, I think he's better off staying at his weight and playing like 3-4 end, or 3D tackle. But Blacklock does have, a pretty decent frame outside of the weight. So if he did want to put on 25 pounds, he could play nose. But I don't know if he's really a good fit for the Steelers, honestly. I think
he's a little in-betweener.
And you got some guys, in the mid rounds that I think would be slam dunks, like Roy and Tyler Clark and those kind of guys. So me personally, as an outsider, I don't think Blacklock is a Steeler.
Yeah,
I don't love that fit.
With what's here, Ryan, what I'm seeing, because we don't have a first, we don't have a fifth, we don't have a lot of ammunition to trade up.
Let it roll.
Although I love Winfield, let's let it roll and let's see which one of those three picks hopefully lands to us that I kind of mentioned. Well, they're still there. Two of them. Winfield went.
I mean, I really would not be shocked if Winfield ends up a first-round pick by Thursday. I
should be.
He is such a safe bet.
Reagor went to Broncos.
All right, let's do good available players. Looks like Cleveland's still on the board, and he's
the Buccaneers took Ayuk. Like they didn't have enough weapons already. Give me a break.
Bucks are taking Jonathan Taylor there if he's available. So,
for sure.
Did you talk a little bit about Michael Pittman? Didn't we talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, I do like Pittman. I don't believe they've met with him though. The only receiver I see them taking, which kind of shows on paper, of who they've met with at this pick is Reagor. I think they probably eyeing later round pick guys like James Proche. They've spent 3 second-round picks year after year after year on receivers. I think they're pretty happy with their room, but you can always add another one. My opinion, Ryan, we'll see what you think. I go Ezra Cleveland here. I like Austin Jackson too, but I think Cleveland, they've already met with him. They've shown interest in him. Our offensive line isn't getting any younger. And there's talks of him going in the first round. Big kid, 6'6", 310, looks like.
Yeah,
shit.
I've heard rumors that Gutekunst really likes Cleveland. Now, I don't know if there's any validity to that, but I think he's another guy that must really fit the outside zone. I don't know if that's what you guys run, but that's what we run.
And I think maybe it was you I was talking about this with.
If we've already...
their relative athletics are, and Cleveland's tested off charts on that, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Did he?
Yeah. He's like the best athlete to tackle in the draft.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. 6'6", 310, addresses a need. I say yes.
Let's do it.
Done.
That's a good pick.
what's funny is I've done 100 of these, and everyone's different.
So, Matt, as we come up on 62, I think there's only three positions you consider, right? But it's receiver, tackle, or inside linebacker.
Yep.
But I would have to think it all depends on the Packer fan, and we don't know what Gutekunst is thinking. But I really think that number 2 receiver is just
a
huge need for us.
And Blacklock's off the board. I would have been interested in it, but I guess we took Epinez already. So
yeah, I do think Blacklock is a better fit for the Packers than the Steelers because we need an end, and I think he'll be a pretty good player.
Well, it looks like you got a couple available receivers there.
I like Pittman, but I just feel like they're the same guy we've drafted for the last 2 years. I don't know. I want a slot type receiver. Chenault's there. I think he's there in round 2. It's probably worth pulling the trigger on him. I'm just not necessarily sold on him. But
I'm not a huge Chenault fan, but I think you're right. I mean, if we're at 62 and Chenault falls in our lap, I don't know if you take one of these other guys over him.
Because I think
I can make an argument for any of those guys, but
I think Higgins is kind of the same thing, but I think we want weapons, and Higgins. I know everybody. I'm getting ripped apart on the internet because I don't love Higgins for the Packers. All these Packer fans love him. It's like, I'm not saying he's not a phenomenal receiver. I mean, he is, but he can't create separation. We literally have 7 tall dudes who can't create separation.
And that's where Pittman and Claypool and Higgins kind of all fall in the same. Granted, Claypool was a freak at the combine, ran a 4.4, but I just think he's going to be on the outside. Yeah. They need someone that can line up at the slot.
I like that Devin Peoples-Jones, man. I honestly didn't hear about him to the combine. Like I told you guys before, I don't really buy too much into it, but he opened up my eyes to go watch his tape, and he probably had the worst quarterback in the nation, and he still looked good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
but
he was the number 1 receiver coming out of high school. Too.
Do you guys want to see anybody by position?
I don't.
I'd be curious what tackle I guess looks like, but
tackle and linebacker. Yeah, I think Chenault. I mean, he is 6'2", so he's another tall guy, but he's so twitchy. He's such a weapon. He's versatile. I mean, I don't think we.
Yeah, at Colorado.
Yeah, Winogo. I wouldn't even have him starting on my high school team, so I don't know how they have his value that high. He's so bad.
He's got a sweet name and he played at Auburn. That's why.
I mean, he has the frame, and
that's how I feel about Leaky Fotu too. You know that.
Yeah, but
I don't see it.
So, without wasting any more time, Matt. I mean, even without looking at inside linebacker, I think you take Chenault if he's there at 62.
Yep.
I agree with you guys. There's something small there that I haven't completely bought into him yet, but his upside to me looks like Anquan Bolden, and if he's that player in the NFL, that could be nasty having a player like him and
I think
Adams next to each other.
His floor, though, this is what I was talking to Ben about last week. He reminds me so much of Cordell Patterson.
That's what scares me, just because he reminds me so much of Cordell Patterson.
Which one are you getting? Yeah, it's one of those two guys. You're getting
Chenault.
Bolden or Patterson.
Chenault?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, he's a Packer. And, I thought you guys were up back-to-back. Maybe that's round 4?
6.
Round 6.
Round 6, that's right.
We traded one of those to,
we gave up the
That's right, you gave up 209.
We got there 4, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, we got there 4.
Ryan's probably thinking about Miami. It seemed like, every 10 picks Miami was.
Oh, God, yeah.
Has 2 picks back, and it's like, what is happening?
So, Matt, we did obviously, we had a Miami fan. We did Miami on the last pod, and
oh, my God.
I mean, honestly, with the Dolphins, with what the haul that he brought in, I'm like, it
was impressive.
That could be a 13-3 football team. Like,
but I still think shit. They got to get up to at least 3 if they're going to get there.
Yeah, I mean, so this Dolphins fan actually said he preferred Herbert.
I would not do that. I would tanking for Tua. You got to ride it out.
Tua's ceiling's higher. I've watched a lot of those guys. Pittsburgh's not taking one. We have no shot at taking one. But Tua's ceiling's definitely higher. And if he didn't have any injury concerns, I truly, honestly believe he is the number 1 quarterback ahead of Burrow. Because he looks like Drew Brees to me on tape. But I like Herbert more than Burrow. He's proven it for a few years now, and Burrow did it 1 year in a system where he played from shotgun every play. He had stars all around him. I mean, we'll see. But I think Herbert's ceiling's higher than Burrow.
Yeah, I'm not a big Herbert fan.
Packers are on the board.
Oh, are we already?
Yep.
94.
Ooh, I love Burgess, man. When I watch
see
that safety tape, I like him and I like Bryson Hopkins, but I'm out.
Logan staring me in the face. That's probably where I would go off of what's there.
What's that, Hopkins?
I like Logan Wilson a lot from Wyoming.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like I want to give Rodgers weapons, but I don't know if I like the board. I like Amick Robertson too out of the slot. They need a slot corner.
Yeah, so I was gonna say here it's either linebacker, corner, or offensive tackle, and I think you take the best value. I like Robertson.
Is Ben Barch still there, or did he get taken? Because I really like him. I do
like him.
What position?
Athletically, he's a tackle.
So
not ready. He's a D3 guy, but he could sit behind Wagner for a year.
I don't see.
No, it looks like he's going.
No. Yeah.
We'll let the Bears take Prince.
He was right behind Pert. But real quick, little info nugget. You guys familiar with Gil Brandt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't buy into everything he says, but he's been very good the past 3 years. Basically, like his top 100 guys, 80 of those guys go in the top 100. And he's got Bradley Anae at like 36. And all these mocks I'm seeing have him go in the third round. So I also I read a report too where just because of everything going on right now, this draft is going to probably surprise a lot of people because there's not a lot of information or anything coming out.
Sure.
So that Bradley Anae sitting there is probably not very realistic, but I know you guys aren't in the market for that. You guys got two studs on the outside, but
well, I mean, we certainly need depth, but I mean, I guess it depends on where they have his value. I think I see more value. Have you ever watched Darnay Holmes, Matt?
Yeah.
I love that guy. He reminds me of Jair, but he looks even stronger. He's just chippy.
He's a true junior too. I think he's pretty young.
Yeah. I think there's better offensive tackle. I'm not a huge Pert fan, honestly. I think there's tackles in the next couple rounds that will give us just as much as those two, if not more. So I would lean Logan Wilson.
Yeah, I would agree with Logan. Yeah, Logan Wilson's good. Otherwise, if you want to take that slot corner, that's the only other thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and Holmes and Robertson are both.
Yep.
Would be
I like
one slot corners.
Oh, but yeah, I like Holmes too. But yeah.
So make the call. I'm good with either one. I guess my fear is what linebackers there. I think there are some corners later. I personally think it's a deep corner class. I think if Logan Wilson's there, I think you snag him.
I agree. Let's go.
Hey, right there, guys. Was trying to talk you out of it right there, guys.
Yeah, so who are you taking?
I know. Yeah.
Logan Wilson.
Logan Wilson, linebacker.
A Packer and a Steeler.
All right.
I've always compared our franchises a little bit. I think they're a little different than most. So
Corey, we're coming up. Do we want to do anything?
Yeah. Matt, I think they definitely think about Hopkins there, though. Because
and I'm not sold on Onion at all. So.
No, and Sternberger can block. Lewis can block.
All right.
Hopkins would just be a frickin' pass-catching weapon.
What position would you like to see?
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is where we took a tackle in the first round. I'm looking at Ryan.
Sorry.
I'm every time, bro. I'm not taking Thaddeus Moss at 102. I'm looking at Bryson Hopkins here.
We'll get him when he's a fifth-year player in the league and he gets traded.
Maybe whatever, but we have Vance McDonald and we have Eric Ebron. Hopefully, one of those guys are going to be healthy for the whole year. But regardless, we need that next guy coming up. I do like Hopkins. I like Hunter Bryant, but I like Hopkins more. The knock on Hunter Bryant is his arms. He has like T-Rex arms. So when you get to the next level, when you're talking about blocking and separating, it might be a little bit of an issue with him.
Can't stiff arm.
I don't think we have a big enough need at receiver to take a receiver here, although I do really like Van Jefferson. I think he's possibly the second best route runner in this draft behind Judy. Somebody dumping ice.
See, Judy got
somebody
a 9 on the
somebody
Wonder
crushing
List.
ice over there. What's somebody
Just
doing?
curious. Did you?
What'd you say, Ben?
That's typical Alabama. Judy doesn't even know how to spell his name, apparently.
Well, he wears the.
Oh my
star.
God! Like that picture that you sent me the other day, Corey.
Hey, you don't have to crush the Wonderluck at receiver, but Tua actually scored a 13 on his Wonderluck, which wasn't too good.
Well, anybody can get into Alabama.
So I'm looking at 2 players here. Ryan, scroll down a little bit just to see. All right, stop there. I mean, there's 4 or 5 players, 6 players that I like. I like Hopkins. Kayvon Wallace is very good depth. And possibly I actually just read a report they're talking about playing Terrell Edmonds in a more of a hybrid role.